Virginia. In the last 2 hours, I pulled out with my fellow info warriors out of Chantilly, a suburb of D.C., and I'm pointed south. Then I will turn east, west, and then go to my beloved home state of Texas. Again, thank you so much for joining us today. Obviously, my voice is laboring a bit because I've been bullhorning since last Wednesday straight through to just about 2 hours ago. What was it, 2 hours ago, guys? That we, Aaron, that we got back from the protest and the globalists leaving early. Henry Kissinger, Bill Gates, all of them getting caught on tape. We have some of those photos up at Infowars.com right now and on our Twitter at Real Alex Jones. I should also add that before I come back from this break and get into all the big developments geopolitically, but also Bilderberg and how big a deal it is that it's been blown wide open, I will be on Coast to Coast AM for a full hour tonight in the first hour with George Noory. So that's midnight Central, 1 a.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. Mountain, 10 p.m. Pacific. So that is coming up tonight as well. CoastToCoastAM.com is their website. I'm Alex Jones of Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. I am a bit shell-shocked just by shaking thousands of hands in between bullhorning, filing reports, talking to insiders and sources, and dealing with the police. It has been a circus of the last 4 days. Really, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday were just wild. Saturday was pretty darn wild as well. We've learned a lot of the inside scoop from Bilderberg 2012. The establishment is not pleased. The bullhorning was so loud that I'm even more deaf than I was before. In fact, I've got to put a note here about bullhorning. I've got to tell you about this. We learned how to take megaphones and bullhorn into one and then to another. Not just everybody talking on different bullhorns, but have one person through a string of bullhorns, like something out of Dr. Seuss book, and it does something with the resonance. Like when I scream in a bullhorn, it's even louder. It somehow puts out more sound. People don't understand that. It's not just talking into one, it's the yelling into one. I'm legendary for that, really discovering it. I'm sure others have discovered it as well. This, though, got so loud that it was causing me to have migraine headaches, and I would have to go lay down on the ground. I mean, it was so loud. Charlie Skelton of The Guardian said that he had to get away from it. And we were shaking the windows of it because the one area where they have the conference area is the one area that sticks off the property to like 40 feet from the street. They put up these big fences and black tarps. People ripped those down, by the way. And it was shaking the building. And the first day, the police were really nice. Then some of the more younger people got there and yelled at them and stuff for no reason. And then they got a little bit of abusive back. And they were under orders. But by the time they all listened to my radio show, well, a lot of them were already listeners. We have that on video. And then they got in trouble saying they were. Nicest police I've ever seen anywhere. They're in Roanoke, Virginia, the county there. Yeah, Fairfax County. I just called it Roanoke because that's where we're... man, my brain is fried. Fairfax County Police. And then today we were saying, who supports the Constitution? They were raising their hands. Who doesn't like those globalists in there? They were raising their hands. It was amazing. The police were looking into the Logan Act. They had iPads out looking at Bilderberg's statements and quotes about world government. And I would tell the cops, look up the UN telling Congress 3 months ago they now run the U.S. military. The cops looked it up and were freaking out, as they should. And they were looking up all the names. They were investigating like we do. And by the end, they were absolutely on our side. It was amazing. We'll be right back. Big news straight ahead. Stay with us. For a long time, you've heard me talk about building your own food supply with eFoods Direct. As a listener, you know why you need to have a supply of the best storable food on the planet. Every day, we document the attempts to take control of our lives. But there's one thing we can all control, your greatest dependency, food. eFoods Direct products are made with only the best ingredients and none of the trash and contaminants like trans fats, GMOs, or MSG. This food is nutrient dense and tastes great. It's simple to make, portable, and has a shelf life of up to 25 years. Now with eFoods Direct, you'll get the most affordable, best-tasting food you can buy. And the new products and pricing will blow you away. Compared to other food sources, including home-cooked meals, you can cut your food cost in half. You just can't afford to ignore this. Call 800-409-5633 or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex for specials. Don't let this offer pass you by. Call 800-409-5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex. More of the best for less, guaranteed.
You are listening to an Infowars.com frontline report. If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance. From deep in the heart of FEMA Region 6, Austin, Texas, transmitting worldwide, it's Alex Jones.
It is Sunday, the 3rd of June, 2012. We're going to be here for the next 2 hours. If my voice is even more frog-like than normal, it is because I have been bullhorning probably 5 to 6 hours a day for the last 4 days, 4.5 days or so. And folks always ask, Alex, why is your voice so deep and scratchy and gravelly? I did not have that deep of a voice, as you can hear on my radio show. If you heard tapes of it 17 years ago, it was there. The intense screaming at demonstrations and bullhorning, and I guess not being voice trained is the reason. So I guess in a way, no weapon formed against us shall prosper, because it is a signature voice, that of an 80-year-old man, I guess, and folks like it. Enough of that, though. Just letting you know why I'm a little bit deeper in the octave here today. We are going to have open phones in the first hour for the thousands of people that came to Chantilly, Virginia through Wednesday right through this afternoon. I've now gotten in the InfoWars command bus, and we have pointed it south, then we'll point it west on our trek back to Tejas, back to our beloved Texas. But it's just wonderful to meet the people from all over the U.S., Canada, Germany, England, that came, Mexico, that came to the Bilderberg event. We totally devastated it. I'm going to go over that, why that's important, the massive international news coverage, the massive coverage here, the Washington Post, for the first time in its history, because they were the only media allowed in back in the 50s, that they're part of it, reported on Bilderberg, but didn't point out that they've been part of it throughout history. Just that, oh, by the way, our owner got invited this year. So they did do that. London Guardian, I don't know, 7, 8 big reports. The Post got published in hundreds of newspapers. The Associated Press, or republished, covered it. Obviously, that's in thousands. This is devastating. They want to keep it secret because there have been multiple, there were, indictments and stuff, but the Prince, Bernhard, got away with it and got out of the country, the guy that started it, the Nazi. The Lockheed Martin scandal in the 70s, Hillary got fined 300 and plus grand, it was 335,000 back in 94 for being at a meeting, a Bilderberg meeting, and got caught discussing with big insurance companies how to scam folks with her health care plan, claiming it was socialist health care. I'm not even for that, but it was worse than that. It was corporatist, where the insurance companies control the care, cut back what you can get, but charge you more and make you buy it. That's why the insurance companies wrote Obamacare, and the big companies, of course, are all exempt. So that's unjust weights and measures. We're going to be breaking all that down today, but I want to hear from people that were at Bilderberg this year. I also found out that the SWAT team have been listeners of the Fairfax County, Virginia Police Department. Since I was there 4 years ago, they found out about the show. They had it at the same Marriott Conference Luxury Center. And the police found out about us then, and then the entire SWAT team became listeners. I was told by one member of the SWAT team, I later ran into another one who was out there for riot control and was like, hey, we love the show, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, don't cross the street again or I'm going to get fired if I don't arrest you. But then I just said, okay, arrest us. And they had to stop that because I looked up the law and said, your commander cannot tell you to not let us cross the street here. Because I went through the code with them and they said, we know. Tell them that. So a lot of stuff happened. It was wild. The police, by the end, totally came over to our side. We'd say, raise your hands if you're against the globalist in there. On video, on live feeds. Raise your hand if you support the Constitution against the New World Order. They'd raise their hands. It was like inches from Ceausescu in Romania when the police and military turned on the dictator, and, well, you know what happened. I mean, it's really happening, folks. And the police kept seeing, like, Chinese ambassadors and stuff coming out. And it's well-known China announced in mainstream news in the Washington Post 2 weeks ago that they're buying up TV, radio, movie production houses, theater chains, biggest one in the country. And they said to influence American media. A year ago, or a year and a half ago, Red Dawn, the new sequel, or it's a remake, didn't come out because it depicts the Chinese government invading with Latin America, which is actually one of their battle plans that's been on the books, that's been leaked. And they had to go back and just stop the movie. And it may not even be released last time I checked. They're making them re-edit it and reshoot and put in with CG that it's North Koreans invading, which is laughable. They can't even, it was all Western investment built China up. North Korea doesn't have cars that they didn't buy in the 50s, you know, that are U.S. or Russian made. They have electricity in, about 8% of the country. They kill millions every decade, literally eating humans, cannibalism, the government does. Look it up if you don't believe that. True Stranger Than Fiction is totally insane. That's what total government is, total hell. And so we have all of that situation unfolding. But to watch the police, this is a big story because this is happening all over the country. I've already seen it happening with the military. The numbers are there. We've seen the polls. Well, I mean, a great one is 70+% of all military donations to all candidates, Republican and Democrat, for president went to Ron Paul. I mean, what does that tell you? The average number is 72%. At one point, it was 76, but if you aggregate it all together, it's 72, 73. Right there shows they're awake. Ron Paul talks about the New World Order, global government, private Federal Reserve, Bilderberg Group, false flags, everything. And I've told you now all over the country the police are waking up. And I've noticed the more professional, the better the training, the better the posture of the police, everything about them, the more they're listeners. Now, you go to New York or something, folks, and some of the police are listeners. They're the guys got their shirts tucked in. It is big, pot-bellied guys with their hats on crooked, smoking cigars and cigarettes. I've shot video of this, screaming at people, yelling at nice families that ask for directions. I mean, it is a lawless crew of thugs. It's a gang. And of course, the original gang in New York was the police. That's in history books. I guess it never changed. And they pick on the cops that aren't corrupt. It is just total thuggism and are just incredibly rude to the tourists. You name it. Everybody's experienced it. And it's getting worse and worse. It's getting worse and worse. And now Bloomberg says he's going to ban all 16-ounce and above drinks. And again, the government tells you what size your toilet is, what size light bulbs, your car, your property. People are like, that really sounds like nanny state control freakism. Of course it is. You can still drink aspartame that makes you go blind and causes cancer. They put fluoride in the water, 7-fold increase in cancer in boys and men. That's only 3-fold in women with it. They do all of this, but then it's like, oh, everybody's getting sick, GMO and all this. Don't worry, we'll just tell you can't have red meat. They're now saying that. They're saying they're going to restrict how much you can buy. I'm not kidding. Look it up. Salt, all these things. But meanwhile, they want to put statin in the water and make kids take it when it literally eats your brain. I mean, look it up, ladies and gentlemen. Total control freakism. I know I talked about this Friday. I talked about it right through the trip this week. All the big Canadian papers are saying that they want to start arresting people that don't believe in man-made global warming. Well, another Commonwealth country, Australia, you can look this up. Australians to be fined $1.1 million and then arrested the second offense. 1.1 million, folks. That's, I forget the ratio, but that's a lot of money. It's close to $1 million US. But if you go, I mean, look this up. I can't even believe it's this bad. And they say in there that if you criticize or talk bad about the carbon tax, 1.1 million Australian fine, and then jail time. And the headline said, carbon cops, and it has them quoted. Yes, we'll be in cafes and on the street everywhere. And if you criticize it, you'll be fined. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, it's a 50% tax on all the raw materials. It is going to devastate Australia. But all the big boy insiders, they're exempt. That was being discussed at Bilderberg. We're going to cover it all when we come back from break. And then at the bottom of the hour, I'm going to start taking your calls right into the second hour. And we're going to get an update from Riding Shotgun here with me, one of the hosts of InfoWars Nightly News, 7 o'clock Central, weeknights at PrisonPlanet.tv. Aaron Dykes, who's going to give you his perspective. I have no idea what he's going to talk about. I'm going to throw him on air because I want to hear his views of Bilderberg and his perspectives. But we know who the elite want Mitt Romney to take as his VP. We'll give you that intel on the other side. We'll give you a lot of other inside stuff from our moles. Remember, we knew the code name a month before, Palm Tree Conference. The photos we got, the latest on Ron Paul.
When you're out on the road, the last place you want to be is on the road. But if the unfortunate happens, you'll be glad you were wearing diamond gussets.
There's a place down in Tennessee where they make blue diamond gusset jeans. They so pride in every stitch, guarantee you love the way they fit. They put a diamond gusset in the crotch where you need it most. Blue diamond gussets got it, others don't.
We turn jeans inside out. Diamond gusset jeans, made in the USA with unparalleled quality. Our Defender motorcycle jeans combine gusset comfort with Kevlar protection, so you can ride all day with confidence. Order yours at gusset.com. Diamond gusset jeans got it, others don't.
Sick of the globalist eugenicist control freaks adding poison to your water and laughing as you get sick and die? Start purifying your water with ProPure. My friends, I've done a lot of research, and the best gravity filter out there, bar none, is ProPure, and it's available discounted at Infowars.com. Its filters are silver impregnated to prevent bacterial growth. There's no priming required. It's NSF 42 certified. Optional fluoride filters can reduce fluoride up to 95%. Easy to set up and use. Doesn't require electricity. Purify water from lakes, streams, ponds, and wells. This filter system leaves in beneficial minerals, which is key. Save money by not buying bottled water and avoid BPA that leaches from the plastic. ProPure is the best gravity-fed filter out there. It's what my family uses. Infowars.com already has the lowest price on ProPure. But if you add the promo code WATER at checkout, you get an additional 10% off at Infowars.com. You can also call to order 888-253-3139. This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup, insurance, and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
If you want an American company with American products made by Americans, here is the Cal Ben Soap Company. Alex and his staff have used these pure soap products for years. These all-natural soaps are made from the highest quality vegetable and coconut oils that are earth-friendly and safe. See them on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091 for a free catalog. Buy the 1 to 2 month sample package and enjoy soaps that are twice as good as what you're using now. Or save big with a 1 to 2 year supply of soaps for all your cleaning needs. This is an amazing deal. You can save thousands of dollars and you will love the way real soap makes you feel. See them on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091 for a free catalog.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. It's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
You know, there's one thing that'll get people to really wake up and get involved and fight tyranny, and that's their children. So many people I talked to out there, I said, why are you here? And they said, for my children, my grandchildren. They understand the globalists are eugenicists, are incredibly wicked, are incredibly hateful towards humanity, have an idea in their minds that we're cattle, as all corrupt elites have throughout history. And I realize I do this because I love my children. I know that's a simple statement, but we all have to remember that this world is hurtling towards a very dystopic future. And I know my wife and children are listening because I was just talking to my wife and my 3 beautiful, wonderful, good children who are listening right now as they drive around Austin, Texas, listening to 590 AM KLBJ, where I'll also be back tonight in the first hour of George Norrie's Coast to Coast AM, I should add, and stations all over the country. But I love you guys, and be good, and I can't wait to see you in a couple days. I won't drive too fast, but I want to get home to see you, and I love you, and you guys drive safe. All of you, my little sweetie pies, all of you, I love you. I love you guys. All right, there you go. Shout out to my little sweetsies who I haven't seen in over a week and a half. I really feel sorry for our military to get to see their kids, and then they get their houses foreclosed on falsely by people like Bank of America, who's openly been caught taking houses they're totally paid for. It's just incredible. And again, I'm not getting into some mainstream media military kissing up. I'm talking about the military people who are on nuclear submarines, you name it, don't get to see their family for 6 months, 9 months. It just must be hellish. Or people that work up north in Alaska on those fishing boats or up there in the timber and only come in a few months out of the year. Wow. Because every time I leave my children, it just having to work all the time, having to stay up at the office till 7, 8 at night a lot of the time. It's just they grow up, and it's sad. But we do all of this for our children, and if we don't fight now, they have no future. Okay, enough of me. Love you guys. So another listener, I just talked to him during the break. Let me give you the toll-free number if you were at Bilderberg this year. And the reason I got off into the whole cop segue, I was going to tell that story later, was the police officers, a bunch of them, said they listened to the show. So if you're off duty and you are part of the police department there, if you're part of the police department there in Fairfax County and you were part of the whole Bilderberg detail, and maybe you're not supposed to talk about it, whatever. If you'd like to call in on the show, we'd like to hear from you, but also everybody that was out there demonstrating, protesting the huge hordes of alternative media, forcing the dinosaur media to report on things. I'm going to define the dinosaur media today because a reporter from Salon couldn't seem to understand it. It means establishment media that toes the party line from a left-wing or right-wing perspective and makes fun of people that talk about corruption and special interests manipulating government. They call you a conspiracy theorist if your head is screwed on even halfway straight, and you're not an idiot. So let me give you the number. It's 877-789-ALEX. That's the Sunday show number. It's different during the weekday 11 to 2 Central show. 877-789-ALEX, 877-789-2539. And if you were there, we'd love to hear from you. My goodness, I love listeners and the power of the people that love liberty, the light in their eyes, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, old, young, north, south, east, west, Canada, Germany, England, you name it. It was so humbling to be around people like that and just to have them totally counting on me and telling me how great I am. It's like nails on a chalkboard because I'm just an average guy doing what I have to do. And it makes me realize responsibility I do have, and so when I screw up and do the things Alex Jones does, as you all do what you do, it's certainly the opposite of a power trip or an ego trip. Sometimes I come off as extremely arrogant. It's really just confidence and aggression and hatred of tyranny, love of liberty. But side issue, humbling to meet you all, humbling to see you all. 877-789-ALEX is the number. Easy to remember. Want to hear from anybody that was part of the events, any of the employees inside the Westfields. A lot of them were listeners as well from 4 years ago. It shows the power of reaching out to the police 4 years ago. None of them knew who we were 4 years ago. Of the hundreds of police they had out there guarding them at taxpayer expense. And they were almost running people over, the Bilderbergs people were, and folks were asking the cops, why don't you arrest them? They said, we've been told they have diplomatic immunity. Yeah, did you know? Well, in fact, I want to tell the history of diplomatic immunity sometime. In fact, I'm going to write a note. I've got like 20 pages of notes here, and of course I haven't gotten to one of the points yet. But diplomatic immunity, because they continue to just expand that out until they're saying, we're going to let the carbon taxers have diplomatic immunity now. We're going to give hedge funds diplomatic immunity. That's too big to fail, taken to the next level. So we're going to talk about all that. Look, I got to say this. This is something I want to ask listeners that call in the second hour after we hear from some Bilderberg folks, Bilderberg protesters. I like Rand Paul. I've known him for years. I spurred him to run. He said, I'm probably not going to. And I said, no, you really will get money. You will get support. My listeners were his first volunteers, make up part of his team. He's a great guy compared to everybody else in the Senate. Done what he'd say he'd do. Plays a little more politics than his dad, but just to soften the edges of what he's doing. He's very effective. And so there's no reason to sit here and bash him. But I think he'll destroy himself if he does take the VP ticket with Mitt Romney. I know they met in a closed-door session last week when I was on the road. I never covered it. People asked me about it, and it's just bad. Rand Paul said on air a few months ago when he was on, Senator Paul, and he also said, off air when I was talking to him during the breaks, that, well, if they do reach out to me, it's an honor to be considered for VP, but I don't think it's going to happen because I'm not going to compromise. Well, now they have reached out to him. And the word is, though, Bilderberg obviously does not like that apple because they know it falls real close from the Ron Paul tree. And that's some big news on Ron Paul. The Bilderbergs are really mad at him. I'll break that down in just a moment if we have time, if not after the break. But smart Republicans, and I talked to some people in the national media, people that have a lot of big, high-powered Republican connections over the weekend. Names, of course, will not be revealed. They said, no, what a lot of high-level Republicans want is to actually not be globalists and sell to the New World Order. They know this stuff's all real, and they think that Rand Paul would be good in there because then hopefully it would force Romney to and would be a sign that Romney isn't just going to become Obama 2.0, because Obama and Romney